Welcome, I'm Vishnu. You're watching the NDTV YouTube channel, and our big focus today, and really it is the big focus for millions of people living across large parts of North India, towards air pollution. Here's the reason why. This is the Delhi region, the air quality index 533. That is absolutely absurd. This would make large parts of North India clearly the most polluted areas, certainly among big cities in the world right now. So why is that the case, and what exactly are we talking about? Good quality air is measured between 0 and 50 on the scale, and we're talking about PM 2.5. PM 2.5 is particulate matter 2.5. These are the smallest particles which are easy to measure, relatively speaking, and it's these particles of pollution, dust, chemicals, which actually enter your lungs, enter your bloodstream, and cause the maximum damage. So 0 to 50 is considered good air. 50 to 100 is satisfactory. In India, if you get anywhere between 0 and 100, particularly in large parts of North India, across the year or any time of the year, it's actually a fairly good day. You then move into moderate. Moderate is 100 to 200. Then poor is between 200 to 300. Very poor between 300 and 400. 400 to 500 is called severe, and now we are way above severe. Now, this actually measures till it's 533 now, but in fact it may not even go very much further, the device itself, the tool itself. So we are now at a level of air pollution in the National Capital Region which is absolutely horrific. And let's just look at some of the other areas, a breakup of the National Capital Region. If we go to Gurugram, it's again at 528, right? Let's take a look at specific areas of Delhi just to give you an idea of what's really bad. If we go to the Dhirpur area, then it's at 579. It's absurd. So what I actually brought you, the index, was an average of all of this. What is the air quality at Terminal 3? It's 538. And this number has, over a period of time, been progressively increasing. Now, as a result of this, the Environmental Pollution Prevention and Control Authority for the National Capital Region, which is it's Supreme Court mandated, has said that, look, there is an emergency situation in Delhi, and therefore they have ordered a bunch of steps. And what are the steps? Construction activities in Delhi, Faridabad, Gurugram, Ghaziabad, Noida and Greater Noida to remain closed till the 5th of November 2019. Hot mix plants, stone crushers have to remain shut till then. All coal and other fuel-based industries which have not shifted to natural gas have to shut down, right? Have to remain closed during the period till the morning of the 5th of November. Cracker burning is completely banned for the entire winter period. But the big issue, of course, was cracker burning during Diwali. No one really cared very much about it, despite the so-called green crackers. The fact that there were so many crackers in the National Capital Region just made it clear that people did not care. That added to air pollution. It wasn't dissipated because wind conditions in the National Capital Region are essentially slow, not very good. And that situation remains today. It's this inversion in the area which takes place, an atmospheric inversion. Wind speeds are not very good at this time. The chemicals cannot be dissipated. Add to that the big factor, and that is stubble burning. Stubble burning in Punjab of crops, the residue of crops hasn't gone down substantially. And unless that actually does, then large parts of North India will continue to experience this smog. What we're talking about is not something that's uncomfortable. If you live in the National Capital Region, your eyes hurt, your throat hurts. The number of people who go into hospitals to complain of these concerns increases manifold compared to the rest of the year. And this is not just a new normal, it's been the normal in Delhi and the NCR region for so many years, in the last several years. And here's another small reality check. In as much as we talk about the National Capital Region, that's because we live over here, we can relate to the situation over here. The number of sensors which actually exist to take a look at air pollution, to measure air pollution across large parts of North India are minuscule. Therefore, there will be areas in several parts, for example, of Uttar Pradesh, which are worse off, far worse off. where people may not necessarily even have an idea of the extent of the pollution which they face. So this is the scenario right now. Imagine what it is for school children, because there have been equivalents which have been made. One of the equivalents which was made, and it's made actually every few years, is that spending a certain number of hours out in the open in Delhi is the equivalent of smoking 30 cigarettes. Now, if you have that number of PM 2.5 at beyond 530 now, that number of cigarettes equivalent would be more. Now, we are adults, our lungs are developed. But in the case of children whose lungs are not developed, and in the case of the elderly, imagine the impact the equivalent of smoking 30 cigarettes a day would have, just if they are outside for a finite period of time. It's catastrophic. We in India talk about economic development, we talk about our prosperity, but the issue of stubble burning in Punjab and Haryana has not been resolved. The Punjab government has failed, the Haryana government has failed, the Delhi government says they can't do anything about it, and the centre perhaps has not done enough. Does anybody really care about environment? Is environment top of our agenda? Is our right to breathe top of our agenda? Quite clearly, it isn't, certainly not for the moment.